Oh, I just dropped my phone. Let me pick it up. Oh, 6:30 already where I live, or 6:28. That's always gonna be that smart as it's saying. That's the wrong time. Anyway. So, welcome to part 2, I guess. No, part 2, part 3 of 3.5. And you can see here I made a bit more kit bash assets while gone. Let me explain what I was doing. So I'm just trying to copy this door hinge, this car door hinge. This is something about right. I'm really tempted to use my kit bash that I collected over the years, but I kind of knew you guys are not experienced as me, so you want to have develop a vast kit bash assets. So I'm just gonna make some, and it's always good to like expand on some new stuff. Handy thing is, since we got that bolt, we can just duplicate it. Shift D, snap to faces, make sure line rotate, and just snap it on there. Yes. To make it far more believable. At this point, you can add the mirror modifier, but I'm not too fussed, and also no, that would do. I'm not too fast, so all I gotta do is communicate. And having just detail like this, like this, sells your model so much more believable. Just look at your toy cars and things that you really like Dickie Fire Truck, and it's littered with all this kind of beautiful detail. Yeah, this is pretty repetitive and boring in my opinion, but this is why we download assets. Yeah, I was earlier I was talking to someone about like what is okay to download, and really just to save you really any time, to save you time from doing repetitive stuff like this that's quite necessary, but I don't mind it's being downloaded. And you know, this is all basic hard surface detail, and there's a hinge, alright. Now I have to consider like this is a bit awkward to 3D print. We've got some weird cavities, so just for the sake of that, let's just fuse it. Just obviously if it's a game or movie you have that actually floating, but I don't want a blob of glue melted plastic, I meant. So that will do. That would totally do. And once well, I'll just bevel these. And grab these downwards. Control B. I don't want any like okay. Because I imagine like this is going to be printed from the side because it depends on the rotation. I'm like thinking a way how to avoid this gap basically. I don't want this like floating detail being printed, and try and minimize support. And I think really it's just to fuse it in, like more like that. And since a 3D printer doesn't really care about how much geometry, it doesn't hurt to add extra detail. Like that. And cool, I have a hinge. Okay, just join all these together. Like that. Hinge. And what I can do with this is duplicate it and slide it on. Oh, I realized I didn't actually forgot the silly thing. Let me just join that and now update it since I use Alt D. Yeah, stuff like that. Let's go add to my collection. Got the bulbous, got that. I think I'll exaggerate this. And bring it all the way out here. Push it down just to enhance that detail. Cool. Next one I'm gonna make is a fluid access to Hiki. Why fluid? In other words, I want a fuel tank, like what's it? You know where airplanes get like fuel? You know, they screw a cap and it get fuel. But this could, but I decided to give it a generic name, so we can have you know, radiator, oil, you know, etc. etc. These are hard, so here's my base shape, and I'm just going to insert it. It's going to get dark, so let me just turn the lights. And extrude IE. Pretty cool in my opinion. How about some bevel? How about bevel again? Bevel on the outside. Smooth shade. All the smooth. I again, E, and I don't know about you, but I hate holding a round thing. So I imagine it'd be quite deep down here. Face. And just going to join these faces. You can imagine going to communicate that you can grab it by deleting all of these faces. Join. Oh, yeah, that'll do. And in here too. F. Cool, that'll do. And I'm talking about those inlay hooks. No, this is retarded. I said inlay hoist points. Inlay stainless steel. Come on. Okay, I'm just getting jewelry, but in construction, like furniture making, I'm trying. It's just like maybe boat. Plug that in. It's like just fold down hooks and that kind of stuff. I'm like talk like inlay PowerPoints and stuff like that. What seems like the internet disappoint me again. I'm just getting jewelry and crap I don't want. So GGC snap boom. Another side too. GGC and here. Yeah, that'll do. I'm gonna make a variation of this detail too. All the boys and girls, I'm just thinking again. Yeah, thinking is actually a high energy process. I'm using all my brain power just to think of stuff years ago. I want like some sort of variation. And I just have some bolts on it. Suggesting you can unscrew it. I don't want it sticking out, protruding that much, so we're just gonna bring them down and yeah, look at that. Got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's make 2 more. I'm thinking of another one I can do. What's another thing? Hinges, yes. Plain hinges. aircraft because plane means multiple things. See, we've got like a lot of this cool hard surface. That's actually really cool. What I do is we're just going to rip this one off. So how would I do that? So I will just create some detail. Yeah, I'm real satisfied. Oh, look at me, Tony sing cringy music. Yes, I really like my music. And as a teenager, I'm pretty sure it's like a stereotype that teenagers really like music. I want to exaggerate that a bit more, so stuff like that. Hinges. And I guess I'll make another variation of this one. So that's in the center. Oh, actually, I forgot to make a pitot tube. God damn it. So let's just steal one of these bases. Alt G to snap it in the center. And let's go figure out. I'll extrude it. I make a leading edge. That looks too bad. I make it a bit more like an airfoil shape. S Y. Actually, a much better way was I quite literally just add a new cube. Or cylinder. Yeah. Make the detail. I think I want 8 vertices. Hey, why did it go over there? That's very odd. You're a very naughty mesh. You do realize that. So I'm going to place it around there. E. Now, unfortunately, remember this is 3D printed, and this will be quite fragile detail, so it's not very smart to make it that long. So I'm going to make it quite thick, dummy thick. And of course, we got to give it something that suggests it's an airfoil shape. I'm going to select this entire mesh, Shift H. I want to be the same Y dimension as that. So we snap it on there. And I like to give it. Yeah, look at that. Well, you guys figured out Pt.3.5 tube. I don't like how high it stands in my opinion. I'm not a fan of it. And this is where you guys can differ. Someone's probably screaming, why don't you just select the whole thing? You do have a point. Y. Ah, it's rotating. Yeah, not do. Got Pt.3, got some instruments. I can make some other variations. What other stuff I want to add? Oh no, I think that's enough. We'll make the rest onto the airplane, but first we need to go make this workable. So some of them is just going to be adaptive, so that's fine. Like this is adding, but some of them are subtracting, like this. So we need to go make a Boolean shape. So that's quite easy. I'm going just to make a basic perimeter mesh. I think 12 would do to really sell it. And just going to scale it in. Maybe a bit deeper like that. Oh, actually a bit down. So it actually can be connected for the 3D printing. So it's not floating midair. And then I'm just going to this tab, the orange square. I don't really know the name. And viewport disability to wired. Alright. Then I've got a parent wire. So Control P and keep transform. And this is really handy when I do the Boolean. I'll go show you what I mean. And this is why I am a mediocre CGI artist. Might as well go parent all these to the correct one. To like the what is intuitively the main base mesh doohickey. Same thing, wired. Control B and transform. This thing is pretty much identical for some of the other shapes I want, so I'm just going to press Alt P and clear the parent. So I already duplicated, keep that in mind. And yeah, just think. Shift S, selection to active. I'm going, hopefully I didn't link it. I didn't, good. And then I can just dial it in. And repeat. And I think there's just one more detail, which is this panel detail I have here. Yeah. Oh. Cool. Now we have like these proxy meshes. And we can tweak them on the fly. This is going to be called kit bash. Hey, look at that. See? You like what I did there? Instead of forcing you to buy some kit bash, we just made ourselves. And now, these are the mediocre kit bashing assets. I'm gonna take a bit scratch here. Yawn. What? I don't really mind what size they are. They're fairly low poly, like. I think they're just like a few thousand. If we just like tell Carline, yeah, look at that, 1,000 vertices for an entire kit bash. That's quite impressive. If you ever know what is the kit bash. So I'm gonna move it here. I'm gonna reveal the plane, and it's playtime. Yes, yes, yes. So what I'd like to do is, let's get this detail, Alt D, Shift Tab, and just snap it on with face and align with target. And look at that. Usually pitot tubes are a lot smaller, and maybe Carline can give us a. I want naked Carline, I want full Carline, and maybe Carline can give us a hand. And I seem to lost my pitot tube because it went inside. Where are the pitot tubes are located? I think just outside, yeah. Let's go turn it to local. You know the shortcut, the comma key. No more snapping, and let's just dial it in. R said 180 degrees, and yeah, that looks pretty good. And let's go integrate it, and we can just rotate it to something like. Jeez, Carline, look at that. I just don't like. It looks like she's crying from far away. Oh bother. Let's just get all this except her body, and well, I have to do with that. Maybe I can just like turn this into overlays. Relationships. Yep, gone. Boom. Carline doesn't look like she's crying ever again. What other stuff we can do? We have these nice detail, and where do they go? They usually go on the end of oh no, they kind of end up here in my opinion. If I can just snap it on correctly. Make it a bit smaller. Now I do have to admit this looks pretty awful. So maybe we'll make it. I'll advance this actually. I'm kind of fed up how low poly this looks. And you'll really notice, like, yeah, this is what you'll be seeing. So I'll deal with that in a tad. And I'll flatten this. Boom. Can I just do that? Yeah, it looks pretty good. And I'll just merge it in. And I feel a bit more. Cool, that's one there. I'd like to see another one to be on the very top of here. I think that'll look pretty good. Where else? I'll personally like to see a few antennas littered around my airplane. So get the antennas and G and snap, snap, snap. Yeah, that's much better. And on the Z, I want 180, not 100 and plus 9 degrees. And really, it's just like rinse and repeat animal, this detail. As you can see, it, you know, it just lifts it. That's what I'm trying to say here. Now, what about these details we made? Yes, 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 we'll get there. And I'll show you what to do. So what you do is you get the whole thing. I recommend Shift D because you might want to do some changes. Select the perimeter mesh. I know some of you have even bothered to make that, and now I punish you. Let's go pick a good spot. I feel like that might be one of the nose, a small one in my opinion. Something like that. Just to make the pilot comfortable. Maybe it's like some cooling and some like electronic instruments. So let's bring them, so turn it up, bring it up. Now just on the surface, select this mesh, press that one, press Control minus, and boo, look at that. Now that looks really nice. You think so? Control minus, so using Bull Tools. It's just add-ons, preference, edit, search up Bull Tools. There's Bull Tools. And yeah, it's really easy. Don't really think too much, and then I can just grab this and just move along. Thinking, yeah, it might be a nice spot. Maybe here. Yeah, I really like it. It's like two ducks. Maybe I want to mirror it. So, forgive me everyone, I'm just gonna mirror it onto there. Got the subtractive objects, and using the copy attribute, and just copy the modifier and the mirror. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, speaking of that, I can imagine there might be some sort of really expensive radio equipment in the canopy. So I'm going to select all this and Shift D, select the handle object I made. Hope. I think around there. On the Z axis, Shift Tab and G, and just submerge it. Just where the hinges are just barely visible. I think it would be nice to see those hinges aligned up with that copper detail, I guess. And then just try to line it as best as we can. Not going to be that perfect. I'm just going to Control minus. And this is why we, oh, well, I want to press Alt D. Actually, I'm going to delete this. It's not really an ideal place to put it because we're just getting so much issues, and I don't think it's worth fixing. You know what? Now that looks pretty cool. I think that looks even much cooler. Yeah. Gonna make my airplane noises. Nothing wrong with that. So let's try again. Okay. Easy, and then make it a bit larger. Easy, easy. Look at that, just the hinges just easily inlay. I believe these are called inlay details. I think. Yeah, they are inlays. And I just subtract it. And I think it's very important to know which direction is the hinges, because if this was the thing like drew to airflow, it just stay closed. It won't just open right out and just, you know, flabber. And this is pretty ideal for in 3D printing wise, because there's like a positive gradient, and that's quite possible to print, hopefully. I'll mirror that later. What are the details I can add on the jet engines? I'll show you how to do that later. We got back here. Time to use this hinge I created, and you're probably wondering what a useless shape, Tony. Yeah, you do have a point. It's pretty weird, but I'll show you how it's going to be used. So Shift D, Shift Tab. Oh, actually, Shift S cursor to selection. I just want to be in the middle. I want to rotate it in this direction by 90 degrees, rotate Z in 80 degrees, and you guys know how to do navigation. I assume that you guys know Blender. Well, it's pretty late to say that. We've been using a lot of advanced Blender techniques and tricks. So, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a bit too aggressive. I might just expand it out. Like that. And yeah, just peeking out like that. And a bit shorter. Not really a fan of how this is looking. There'll be one up here, I guess, and one all the way down at the bottom. And oh yeah, I forgot there's a that root problem. Let's just scale on the X, the object X, a bit more on the X, G, Y, and yeah, that'll do. Got some cool hinges. Repeat that for the other stuff. Not gonna use those. Those are mucked up, in my opinion. Yikes. You know what? This is gonna be a new one. Alt D. Got some funky scaling. Don't really mind it. Snap it there using that. RZ to roughly meet the normal of that line of the, I don't know that line called. And I could just slide along there. Move it down, I guess, on this G, X, Z. Which dimension it is? Make sure I turn it off. And I'll move it up. I might scale it in a bit more, and I'll multiply it on the object Z. I Alt D it, G on the local X, just slide on there, and I'll just grab it to there. And I think they look pretty nasty. as an artist, I'm never liking my work. I forgot that that dimensions does change. Can you imagine being like a real engineer and you have to like, I'm already having like detail, I'm struggling with all the details here. Can you imagine this all have to mechanically work? Like, I only just tell the idea like, yeah, there's hinges, but really, it's a lot more complicated than that. Like, there's all like the ribs and etc. etc. Like, designing an airplane isn't easy, so to all these armchair engineers, like, go try to do this first, and you'd be surprised. The real airplane's much harder. I'll show you how to do the mirror later. I'm just really curious about doing one side first. Gonna pick the root one, Alt D, Shift Tab G, and just going to snap it there along the face. I'm pretty happy how that's looking. Gonna turn it off. GGZ, G on the X. Look at that. And Alt D along its local X and scale it on the local Y. GGG. I think it will really beneficial. Luckily we use Alt D. If we just have a bevel here, just it looks a bit more aerodynamic. Yeah, look at that. We're making pretty good progress. Like, we just hide the overlays and yeah, this airplane starts to look more and more believable. Now let's I guess it's just rinse and repeat, and I pretty much tell you not everything, I guess. I'm an artist, I don't tell my secrets. Of course I know how to make this even better. Maybe I'm thinking like some sort of another radar on top. I don't know what's there, but some sort of dome, I guess. And I just fixed the rotations up here. Baby. I like to keep that bit clean. What are the details I have here? Ooh, fill caps. Oh, the floor cap I've been telling about. Let's use it. Snap, snap, snap. I'm assuming there'll be fuel tanks on the wings, as usual. There's always fuel on the wings. I make it a bit flush, and this is why I made it a bit more protruding over. There. And control minus, and disaster. Oh no, that looks really bad. What's my modifier saying? Well, easy fix, we just move it around and looks like it's gonna look bad no matter what. Oh, that's why. Why do you look so bad? Maybe we need a closed mesh. Maybe. Oh, problem solved, boys and girls. I can lift that sort of detail. And I found a lovely maybe I have to rotate it myself. Jeez, Blender. And this mesh I like to have a bit smaller. Like that. Now, as an engineer, if you can imagine, you want this thing to be a bit convenient. I don't think Carline can reach that. Just maybe, but I feel like you'd be just spilling fuel all over the place. So let's just bring it a bit closer. To there. And that's actually pretty huge, so let's just scale it in. And I like that a lot. I really do. And I like it a bit more flush. So like a flush inlay. Yeah, like that. What about keep going at it. These bulbs are really cool. I can imagine the airplane will have some bulbuses on its cheek. Exit 90S. Not that big, just like there. Clear that later. Some on the wing. I don't know what they are. Don't really care too much, to be honest. Maybe some on here. Not the on the x-axis. G about there. Yeah. I don't know. Definitely one on the back. Could be some sort of antenna. Oh, it looks like an ugly butt. Rotation wise, this could be zeroed out. This could be there. This X could be 0, and that would do really. And I like to tuck that in so we don't get that awkward lip. And while we have it, I think it is appropriate to have another one of these just there. This one can be a bit larger. I don't want to. That fine. The rotation here, nope, not allowed. X, yeah, and we just tuck it in. And I like to have it on the other way, 180 degrees. airplanes always like to have redundancy. So let's just have a few of these that's littered on. And that'd be no good if we can't talk to the ground. So let's just have a few on the ground. Set there. And I like to have the bounding. What is bounding center square? I don't know, I always have it at mean, but I'm gonna just have them at individual because these might be not as important. And I can imagine this detail, you know, you probably just whip out your mirror, but this is kind of like, who really cares about these? They're kind of just like, just roughly in the right location. I think that looks quite stupid. So I want to have that the same thing. Copy scale, boom. What are the details I want? Pretty much use one of everything except the bolt and this one, this random panel. Might as well use it since we created. Be a waste, and also who doesn't like extra detail? I'll imagine there might be one in the wing. There could be like a super critical setting. That's actually kind of cool. Like to access like a setting or panel here, you have to get your Phillips screwdriver, undo a hatch, and then there'll be a switch there for you to do. And why it's like that? There's a few reasons. Number one, it's really secured. Like it requires knowledge of the aircraft to know where that is. So only authorized personnel. So no mongrel ground crew can just switch it on. Also, what else I'm trying to say here? Oh, there's just so many things. Airplanes are so complicated. I'm trying to say here, boys and girls, is, pardon me, it's secure in the flight. You know, peace of mind. It's screwed shut. You need the right tool, and only authorized people can access it. Yeah. That's what I try to say. I do notice this weird ass bulge. I wonder what's causing it. You see it? Yeah, I see it. Don't know, but I'm just gonna zero that out. This bulbous here, I really hate it. I don't like it. Maybe instead I have one of these. That's weird. Oh, I know why. Oh, you got like a pinch in his chin. Why do you have a pinch in your chin? I know why. Well, actually, maybe it doesn't really matter if I just subdivide it. So the 10 subdivisions at this level. And yeah, we still got an ugly pinch. Not a fan of it. Alright, back to working level. This ducks, we can certainly use more of it. There might be a radar inside it here. If you got like some weird face, just move it around, to be honest. Until it's done. Then I like to rotate it on this axis by 9 degrees and shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. If I can find a good location. Maybe this isn't too ideal because it's not that flat and with the issue we're having. So I'm going to delete that boolean. Find another place. Maybe towards the tail might make sense. Because there might be some you know, electronics or etc. They get hot, especially in the jet engine, so you just need a little bit of extra help of cooling. And yeah, I think right here is way more hot. Yeah, mate?
Can I go take a shower?
Oh yeah, that's cool. Done, mate?
Any shorts, mate?
No, I don't know, mate.
Bro, okay.
Close the door, mate.
Okay, mate.
Where were we? Oh yeah. This is sticking out, so it looks a bit weird. I'm just gonna tuck it in, really. And yeah. Again?
Undies, mate.
Not here. Oh, there is? I just go outside.
Bro. You still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother to edit out. Warehouse. Oh no, I guess it's just really just playtime with it. I guess you know how to do that. Anyway, I like to separate the leading edge. Might as well just close this off. So, oh actually another better way is I just bevel it here. And then I just get all this except for those edges. And Alt S. Not that happy anymore. No, why is nothing cooperating? I just want to communicate that the leading edge is a different part, like that. And I think that would really sell that this is like a airplane, I guess. Let's go take a look. Yeah. I think I like to exaggerate a bit more, because maybe in the 3D print it might not really show, because we are using just consumer grade stuff. So I'm not expecting that much. So I'm going to make it the crevices deeper. Like that much deeper. And I'm going to just bevel it. Like that. And now you can really see something. Just for the leading edge. Oh, I'll try to figure out how to do that detail for the rest of the airplane. Because, of course, they're around here, but all the complex curves, really. I guess we can do it to here too. I'll tuck this in. Control B, minus it, hide it. G, Z, G, Z. Oh, this might be a difficult fix. G, vertice, G, and snap it to there. This one needs to be extended. Yeah. Usually in airplanes I see how they're built, they have like this leading edge. And then of course that looks nasty, so let's just bevel it. Yeah, it doesn't look that realistic, but once it's 3D printed, then you're pretty happy that you might exaggerate it. I don't know, there's gonna be someone who did it the other way, but oh well. Now, I want all these details on the other side. Yes, I really do. So, I'm just going to select. Good, there's bolts. I'm going to select everything that is on the other side. Alright, cool. I think got all that detail. I'm going to select something. I'm going to select something that have a mirror modifier. Press Ctrl C, copy modifier, the mirror, and bam. Look at that. And look at that, that airplane starts to get pretty detailed. I think that's gonna end it tonight. I think next episode, next part, let's go add some landing gear, or paneling, and all that kind of stuff. In the meanwhile, I don't think it'll be that fun to record me adding bolts, this bolt detail, along where it's necessary, like here. I'll of course will add bolts there, but it'll be pretty boring. So I hope you have a good one, and do your homework. Right now I'm going to pose a little thumbnail. Make sure I turn the shadows. Yeah, look at that. Alright. Take care, everyone.